Hello, everyone. We are live. Oh, wait, we're not live. This is recorded. Oh.
Fuck up!
Hello, Internet. Because Riddler's not here, I had to say that. Yeah, this is another episode of the C Show, and like the first time in a billion years. Sorry we haven't posted anything. It's just we've been far too lazy, and most of these assholes have stopped watching wrestling because they're, well, they're smarks, and The Rock's WWE champion. So there you go.
Ugh. Fuck that. I will not contribute to the WWE war machine.
Yeah, well, as we record this, it is the 6th of April, the Saturday, and this is before WrestleMania, and we're doing our WrestleMania prediction show. But it's not just me here. Who else is here? Say your names.
I am the heavy metal snail doing this show from my bed because I'm too lazy to go to the desk 3 feet away.
This is Rocktan saying Cody Rhodes must be ashamed. Every day he has to deal with his father because the longer he stays alive, Dusty Rhodes slowly stops being Dusty Rhodes and becomes Dusty Farts.
Well, that was a terrible joke.
Yep.
God damn it! I tried.
Okay, for the one person who didn't turn off the podcast immediately, you are this is our WrestleMania prediction show.
Yeah, I've already said that.
Yeah, I know,
That's
and I'm
right.
here to remind them. Because I don't know if you know this, Nathan, but not everyone speaks British. Some of us speak American.
Fucking Americans. You're like a plague.
That you created. Just remember, if you go down on Americans, remember, this could have all been avoided if you just went to South America.
Well, look, we had success with the Australians. We thought we might as well go for another country, but no, we had to fuck up the second time.
You call the Australians a success?
Yes, the Australians are
Really?
hilarious.
Nathan,
Really?
we're gonna
They're a
send
comedic success, I'm telling you.
Nathan.
Also,
We're gonna find a way to send Jack Swagger to your house so he can break your ankle.
Why?
And by the way, the first British settlement, I think, was after you already colonized America in Australia, just so you know.
I know, but I just wanted to say that. But you know what? It's okay if Jack Swagger gets here because I have a crossbow, so fuck that guy.
Yeah. And he also has a Mexican.
I don't have a Mexican, no.
Aw.
I have 2 cats, though.
Are they Mexican cats?
No.
Aw. So, let's just get right down to business, I guess. It's in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Prestige.
Yeah, I know. That's like almost as good as New York, except not at all.
That's
Yeah,
like almost as good as New York if we were all insane.
Yeah, if you like the smell of garbage.
Yeah, it's broadcasting from the MetLife Stadium, which is the home of course, the pitiful New York Jets. So my guess is if things I've predicted this before, but it might be obvious. It might not happen, but if things start to go sour, if things start to suck in this WrestleMania, the WWE might be in trouble.
Yeah. Still, why of all places would you host it in the stadium of the Jets? That's like hosting it in the in the stadium of the LA Clippers. I mean, you might as well not even try anymore.
Well, they've used the stadium before.
I guess, but I don't know.
Have they?
Yeah.
When?
Well, I'm sure they've had stuff in MetLife Stadium before.
No,
I just think
this is the only one they've ever had in MetLife because MetLife wasn't around before.
Yeah, honestly, I think that if you're gonna do a New York show, I think you should just go to the Garden, because that's always that. Because I mean, if nothing else, for the history of it.
I think the problem is that to pile a crowd of like 70,000 or more people is kind of hard for the
Yeah,
Garden.
like that's the only problem is that the Garden's really small. But even then, like, I don't know, it just feels like the MetLife Stadium.
Yeah,
doesn't...
the Garden's got more history.
Yeah, but also it's also worth noting that the WrestleMania set is fucking ugly.
It's not as ugly as last year's.
For those of you who haven't seen it, it's basically they don't have the stupid palm tree pillars, but they have something far worse. It's like they have this giant canopy, which on top of it is a model of the New York skyline with a giant Statue of Liberty in the center of it.
For some reason.
Yeah, because first of all, they're in New Jersey, which I mean, I don't think many New Jersey people consider themselves New Yorkers. And furthermore, I don't think the Statue of Liberty is in the center of New York.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, I guess they consider themselves New Yorkers by the virtue of the fact that the MetLife Stadium is home to the team called the New York Jets, which always never that does. Am I the only one that thinks that's weird that they consider themselves the New York Jets when they're in New Jersey?
Well, the Giants are also in New Jersey. They play in New Jersey.
Remember though, it's either calling it the New York Jets or the New Jersey Jets.
The New York Giants and the Jersey Jets.
The Jersey Jets.
Like, okay,
so the New Jersey Giants kind of works.
I think the New Jersey Jets also. I don't know. They should just give one of those teams to Jersey and then like just throw them a bone.
Well, no, I don't think they should give the Giants because the Giants.
Yeah, there'd be a riot if the Giants were considered Jersey. It'd be almost as bad as when the Brooklyn Dodgers moved to Los Angeles. So anyway, enough about sports. I think what's important is the card here, and I'll just say it's better than last year's.
By far.
Like there's more match. There's at least one more match, and
wow.
They've done there's one more match, and they've done a better job building up some of these matches.
And there is one big gaping hole. There is no U.S. title match.
That's true.
Well, there wasn't any U.S. title match last year either.
I think that was either wasn't or it wasn't a pre-show.
There wasn't. The pre-show was the tag match.
Well, yeah, right.
Well, the thing is with the U.S. title is I know exactly why they aren't having a U.S. title match because I've read this up somewhere. The reason they're not having a U.S. title match is because the person who was supposed to be in it was Sin Cara, and guess who's injured again?
Honestly, that's a shame because that match actually would have been pretty good.
Yeah,
like Cesaro works really well with luchadors.
Mm.
You know, why didn't they just make the match? Why didn't they just make the match against Mysterio unless he's injured too?
He's injured
he
too.
took time off to spend with his family.
Oh, okay.
Like he's I think he's reaching this point where he's going to retire soon.
Yeah.
Like I mean I know that everyone says that every year after he gets another knee transplant surgery, but I think
but this time he actually is close because he's actually saying it himself.
Yeah, like he looks close because it seems like he's mentally ready to retire, even though he's been physically ready to retire since like 2007.
Yeah.
And okay, we've gotten so yeah.
I think the thing with Mysterio is also that like he's been appearing less and less and less, even though he can come.
Yeah, I think he's reaching this point where he's just kind of. I think he's sort of slowly but surely getting ready to retire. But even though there isn't a U.S. title match, we still have the pre-show Intercontinental title match between Wade Barrett and The Miz.
God, what happened to these mid-card titles? Like a year ago, like Cody Rhodes held the title, and like. He was facing the Big Show for it, and there was, and you know the Dolph Ziggler held the U.S. title, and that was worth something.
Well, see where the U.S. title went to shit was that after Zack Ryder won it, they basically just hotshot it to Jack Swagger with no build-up, and then they hotshot that one to Santino, and then Santino kept the title for months and was made to look like a joke at every opportunity.
Yeah, it's bad when the Knockouts tag titles in TNA are better than the these
No.
Knockouts titles.
I'm sorry. You can't have a title belt where the champions haven't been on TV in over a year.
The champions are on. The champions are on TV. They're just not holding the titles.
They just forgot those belts existed.
No, it's still on the website, so they haven't forgotten they exist.
Well, then maybe the website isn't run by the bookers. Like I would say that it hasn't reached Knockout's tag team title status yet. Like it's not that bad. It could reach it. It has the potential to, but I don't think it's reached that point yet.
I think right now it is worse than the TV title, though.
No. Again, I think at least WWE remembers belts.
At least Devon has been winning matches.
True.
When was the last
problem
time
with
Wade Barrett or Antonio Cesaro actually won a match?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think like I think the problem is that like they just have no plans. Like they don't plan anything around the mid-card title, and they don't have any storyline centered around it. They just
remember when Bo Dallas was going to challenge for that?
for like when he had like a week.
Yeah, and then they realized that this guy has no talent.
All right, yeah, this guy sucks. Let's take him away. Okay, so either way, like I honestly gotta say that I hope Wade Barrett wins, but I think they're still trying to force Miz's face turn, even though it's clear that I don't think anybody really likes it.
Look, no matter who wins, we lose, because no one cares about either of these guys right now.
No. Like, Wade Barrett hasn't really...
I really want to like both of these guys and care about them.
I want to like them, but I don't.
Like, I think the thing is that they just really haven't done much to make us care. Like, it's just kind of one of those things where the most I remember Wade Barrett actually doing anything was when he promoted Dead Man Down. That movie that he was barely in.
Oh, God.
And, that also sucked.
The movie sucked?
Yeah, the movie sucked.
I was actually interested in seeing it.
Like, surprised.
Yeah. Apparently
that was our sound engineer, by the way.
Yeah. To the shock of absolutely no one, WWE Studios has no competent writers.
What?
Wait a minute. Was Dead Man Down a WWE Studios movie?
Yes, it was produced by the WWE Studios.
I did not know that. I thought it was like...
Yeah, it was... Like, both The Call and Dead Man Down had the same problem in that they both were written really badly.
Which one was the one with Edge in it?
I don't remember.
You know that Edge movie that actually looked good?
I don't remember. I think it went straight to DVD.
That actually looked good.
Yeah, okay, but
getting back. The problem is
to Wikipedia.
No one gives a fuck about Wade Barrett or The Miz right now.
Bending the rules. It got mixed reviews.
Yeah, the problem is no one cares at all about Wade Barrett or The Miz, at all.
They really, Miz TV has gone over as well as a lead balloon, because really The Miz, shockingly enough, either The Miz or the WWE writers, shockingly enough, aren't funny.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Wade Barrett is kind of going... He's reached that funk that many mid-card title holders do in not just WWE, but in any company, where he's winning matches when they need him to defend it, and then he's facing big guys, but he keeps losing to them because they can't have a mid-carder be the top guy, and
that's the biggest problem with the mid-cards, is that they keep having like the top guys, or especially and other guys with, especially a lot of times it's like a guy with like one of the heavyweight belts, and you instantly you pretty much know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that Miz is going to win, if only so that WWE can try to force this face turn more. I mean, it's not working at all.
I could see Wade Barrett winning it. Honest.
I could see either of them win it, but
Either way, I'm probably not going to see this match. So
the guy I'm going to put on the guy I'm going to say though wins it is Wade Barrett.
Yeah,
just because
I think Miz might win. I don't know.
Miz had one. Which was didn't Miz have the Intercontinental title?
He beat Christian.
No. Miz had one of the mid card titles recently.
Yeah, he beat He won the title from Christian.
Right. So what would giving the title do? Like actually do to Miz though? I mean, who would he face for it? I can't see them. I can't see him having anyone to move on to. Whereas I kind of could see that with Wade Barrett, and that's the only reason I'm going to go for that.
Oh, right. Kofi Kingston held the title after Miz. I completely forgot about that.
For about 5 minutes.
No, he held it for like 2 months, and I guess I just don't remember it at all.
They've been saying something about. Can I interrupt a second? They've been mentioning how like Miz is apparently adopting a more aggressive style when he comes into the ring, but given the fact that I haven't watched that much, I haven't really seen.
I don't know. I just think that they haven't really done much for either guy to the point where whoever wins, it won't make much of a difference. Which speaks to the unfortunate state that the IC title is in.
There was a moment when I on SmackDown where Miz was facing he was doing a handicap match against, it was him versus the Primetime players.
Remember when they were getting pushed?
Yeah.
Me neither.
Well, to a degree, I remember it.
Well, I remember they were getting pushed, and then AW was all did the whole Kobe Bryant joke, and then.
Yeah, they've been fucked ever since.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on.
I just remember them saying that Miz has adopted a more aggressive style.
I really
no, he
don't
hasn't.
care. I think it doesn't really make a difference to the overall storyline for reason for the match.
But the thing I noticed about it is for a moment I honestly thought that they had changed. Since I hadn't watched in a while, I honestly thought they had changed the graphic on the Intercontinental title, and I was immediately very afraid.
Okay, well, let's move on to what should be the opening match, but with WWE's skill, they might make the World Heavyweight title match the opener again.
Probably.
But see, Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls versus Rhodes Scholars and the Bella Twins.
This has the potential to be a good match.
Yeah, I actually think that, to be honest, the Bellas are getting slightly better. They're still not even close to what I would call good, but they're not abysmally bad.
Well, I don't think the Divas are going to be in that match much.
Yeah, well, but I think what we will see from the Divas is going to be okay.
I'm more horrified. At least the Bellatons have a lot more experience than the Funkadactyls do.
No,
yeah,
the Funkadactyls are wrestlers. They've been wrestlers for in NXT for quite a while.
Yeah. Which one was the one that came out in TL that had the title match at TLC?
I don't even remember.
Was it Naomi?
I think it was Cameron.
Okay, the one that had the title match at TLC is actually pretty good. She's and also I think that at least they're using Brodus Clay, Tensai, and Rhodes Scholars. At least they're doing something with them which is good.
At the same time, they're right now Tensai is I don't know why they bother keeping the name at this point.
They aren't calling him Tensai. They're calling him Big T.
No, it's Sweet T.
Sweet T, not Big T.
Which is just
so. Well, at least he's not doesn't have the stupid At least they're not doing the stupid fake Japanese gimmick as much. At least they toned that down.
To be honest, there has been some good, like, there's been some good parts to it, like, you know, the part where, like, Brodus Clay was like, hey, man, what does all that writing on your face mean? He just sort of went, I don't know.
Yeah.
On SmackDown, Damian Sandow and Rhodes came out in, like, padded suits trying to look like them.
Yeah, see, honestly, those are two guys they should be pushing a lot harder than they have. Like,
but who do you see going over in this match?
I think it might be Rhodes Scholars and the Bellas.
I think it's going to be Rhodes Scholars.
Yeah, because I think they... Because I think that they seem to be much more interested in pushing Cody and Sandow than they are with Tensai and Clay.
Well, what I think's going to happen is the Rhodes Scholars are going to win, but there might be something like to do with the Caitlyn thing interfering in this match.
Maybe.
What's she got against anyone in this?
Because you haven't been watching Rocktan, there was actually a storyline where Cody Rhodes was wanting to be in a relationship with Caitlyn.
Oh right, and then didn't the Bella twins like shut it down?
Yeah, and the Bella twins shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so maybe.
I think this is the first part on the road to Cody Rhodes' face turn.
Yeah, I think he'd make a much better face than Damian Sandow would, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Damian Sandow would work as a face.
No. But I could see this starting the face turn though.
Okay, like yeah, I think that they'll go over, but because honestly, I think there's much more potential in them than there is with Tons of Funk.
Oh god, so much more potential.
All right, so
By the way, hey Mick, you were wondering which movie Edgewood is in? It was
bending
the rules. Yes.
Had Jamie Kennedy in it, so that makes me really apprehensive. So
it was one of those movies where it's like one's a cop, one's a criminal, kind of buddy, similar to I guess a buddy cop movie maybe.
Okay, who do you think's gonna win against in the what should be the opening match?
You mean the Brodus Clay?
Yes.
Yeah, the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were moving on.
Mixed tag match.
Yeah, I think Rhodes Scholars will win, and I really don't see Cody turning face right now.
I think it's going to be
watching the show.
It's going to be a slow turn.
It's going to be a slow turn, but I think this is what like kicks off the start.
It's going to start it
I don't know. I sense like a possible like sort of screw job finish where like one of the Bellas holds someone down and helps them win.
Yeah, I have a feeling the Bellas might be the ones who get the pin. Like whoever won is the.
Well, I've got a feeling the Bellas are going to be out of the game because of Caitlyn interference.
We'll see how it goes.
By the end.
There's actually some storyline going into the multi. There's some storyline going into the obligatory multi-man match at WrestleMania, so that's good.
Moving on to the next match.
All right, so Chris Jericho versus Fandango. Is it a bad time to say that I actually like Fandango?
No, I fucking love Fandango.
Yeah, I like him. Like I think that I've bought into this gimmick really heavily. I have a feeling that with Jericho involved in the match, and with the fact that this is his debut, Fandango is going to win.
Yeah, and Fandango, if you've seen him in NXT, he can really wrestle.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good, but
he's one of the better wrestlers they have right now.
Better than Bo Dallas.
I honestly did not find his gimmick very appealing at all. I thought it was really stupid that the whole thing of you aren't pronouncing my name right. I'm not going to wrestle you today.
I thought that it started out stupid, but I think right around the time when he tried to get the Great Khali to pronounce it, that was when it got.
I know you Pantadango.
Oh no, it's Fandango. Say it with me, Dog. That was great. And I just thought, I think the whole thing, the gimmick, it is kind of stupid, but I think Johnny Curtis is really making it work.
Yeah, well, Johnny Curtis is always good with weird gimmicks.
He's good with gimmicks that shouldn't work at all, but do. Like when he had that gimmick where he'd keep making visual puns. That was great.
Oh, God, that.
And then he got squashed by Mark Henry and never came back.
The one thing that bugs me, I like the little aggressive thing. I like the aggressiveness that he had against Jericho, but at the same time, the finisher that he gave him, what the hell are they thinking? That's all they're giving him is a top rope leg drop?
That's his finishing move. That's what he uses as his finisher, that since he was in FCW.
I think it could work, though. It depends.
Yeah,
it depends when it's used.
It's better than the finishing move that I assign some of my creator wrestlers. I have one that's literally just a kick to the back.
It's better than the fucking overdrive.
Yeah, it's better than
DDT 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's better than elevated wrist lock. Yeah. So and there's also no reason for Jericho to really win this match.
No, I could see Fandango going over, but the thing is, I don't see where Jericho will go after this. But
he's
it's
probably just going to be doing the same thing.
I see Johnny Curtis going over, but not Fandango.
Fandango.
I see Fandango going over with this one, but Jericho is going to look strong in it, and he's going to win. But Fandango is going to win, not clearly.
Yeah, it's probably. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's some shenanigans involved.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this feud kept going. After
I have a feeling it's going to end with a ballroom dance-off at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, and take over for a second because I just spilled a bottle of a glass of water all over the.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone there?
Nathan?
I said take over. I've just spilled a glass of water.
Oh, okay. Okay. So next match, Mark Henry versus Ryback. I'm looking forward to this match.
I'm not. I'm really not.
I think
the only reason to look forward to it is Mark Henry, but to be able to carry Ryback to a decent match, I just don't see it.
I think he can. I think he can. I mean, we've seen with Mark Henry since he sort of started being awesome back in 2011. He can do some good with carrying people to actually entertaining matches. So and I think that Ryback, I think that it would certainly give us quite a sight if Ryback gave the shell shock to Mark Henry. That'd be pretty. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, if he can pull that off, I'll be impressed. I will say.
Yeah, I actually think this one. I kind of like the basic story behind it. It's always a good one. Two monster wrestlers going up against each other. That's always makes for some at least somewhat entertaining matches. I mean, it didn't work for Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker, but it's Giant Gonzalez, so I'd be willing to give. I would put Ryback on the same level as Giant Gonzalez.
Pretty much nobody is on the level of Giant Gonzalez. Not even Khali is.
Yeah, I know.
Bad as that guy was.
Yeah, Khali's actually can work somewhat. So yeah, I think that.
I mean, for one, I mean, Khali's. I will say Khali is might be bigger as far as weight, possibly, than Gonzalez was, but Gonzalez was a foot taller.
Yeah. Oh God. Nobody would wants to see John Gonzalez anymore. But it is good to at least know that this won't be horrible. I don't think. I think that they could at least be somewhat entertaining. Like, if nothing else, I want to have Ryback try to go for his normal moves and Mark Henry just be all, bitch, please, and just, like, no-sell it, because that could actually really work.
Well, they'll probably do. They're probably. I can see them both doing a lot of no-selling to each other.
Well,
Yeah.
Until one of them finally, like the match would start out with them trying to do a lot of big power moves, and the other, they're just like not selling it until eventually someone breaks through with a really big something. That you know.
Well, what I see from this match is that honestly, this match could go either way. This could be either one of the better matches on the card, or the worst match.
Yeah, like it's all going to depend really on who brings it on. Like, if they can bring it, then that's going to be good. But
honestly, I don't think this would be the worst match in the card. That's reserved for some.
I think it could easily make that could reach that point, but I don't think it's going to be.
This could be one of those. I could see this being one of those power matches where the guys just sort of walk around each other and don't really do much.
You're saying you're expecting another Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg?
I could see that with this match. I honestly could.
It could either be Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, or it could just be like the two guys trying to find a way to beat the shit out of each other.
Mm.
Like, I always do enjoy kind of having the psychology in those kinds of matches where it's like, oh, I'm usually good at facing off guys who are much smaller than me, but this guy's so much bigger than me. What do I do now, man?
To be honest, what this match would have been, what would have made this match better is if it was a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yeah.
But as just a normal match, I'm not sure where this would work. You what?
What?
What did you say?
Or if it was a good old-fashioned weightlifting contest.
They already did that.
I know, but it was ended under false circumstances. They need to do it again. Rematch. Okay, so I think that Ryback's gonna win just so they can give a feel-good moment on the show, but it's not. He's not gonna win.
What I think is gonna happen is Ryback's gonna win. He's gonna move on to the WWE Championship.
Probably. Like, I have a feeling what's going to happen is that Mark Henry's going to go for the world's strongest slam, and Ryback's going to counter with a shell shock.
Yeah.
How is that going to work? That would be interesting.
Like, I think it can happen. Like, it could easily happen. So, that's my prediction. What about you, Nathan?
My prediction is that Mark Henry's not going to fight fair in this.
Obviously.
And that Ryback eventually goes over. Because they haven't really done much with Ryback, and I think that what they're trying to do now is position him for the WWE title.
Or at least put him back, make him relevant again.
Yeah.
I could see him in the running for it, at least.
Yeah.
Not necessarily winning, but, you know.
Yeah. Well,
my prediction is I really want Mark Henry to win personally, but I could definitely see Ryback going over.
So do you want to move on then?
All right.
To Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show versus The Shield.
A.K.A. Random Character Generator versus The Shield. Now, hopefully this will not end the same way as the core at WrestleMania 27.
I think this match will be good.
I don't even recall how that ended.
It was a 1-minute squash match of the core.
Oh, jeez.
So hopefully it's not going to be that bad. And I actually think the Shield might win this one if one thing happens.
I do think the Shield's winning this.
I think the Shield is going to win because one of them is going to turn on the team. And it's most likely either going to be Orton or Big Show.
No, I'm saying Sheamus actually.
Yeah, it could be either one, any one of them. It's not a matter of.
I'm seeing a Sheamus heel turn.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Either way, it's going to be a question of not if someone turns heel, but who turns heel.
Because I mean,
it could also be a case of no one's really turning heel per se. I mean, Big Show's already heel, so he doesn't need to turn.
No, yeah. Show's slowly edging towards face.
Yeah,
But,
it seems like
It could be just the fact that they get into a big scuffle, disagreement, and then it distracts them enough that they lose.
yeah.
Not
I think
really.
that
Basically, what I'm seeing
No
though,
one
is that
turns or to face or heel or anything. It's just
what I'm seeing though is that over the last few weeks, Randy Orton's just kind of been there. Big Show
Yeah.
has kind of been facing off against Sheamus, and Sheamus has just sort of been, all smiling and going, "Trust me, we'll win at WrestleMania. Trust me," as though he's going to do something heelish and turn.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's what I'm seeing.
It's gonna be one of those things that, like,
But I still think
is-
the Shield wins.
yeah, the Shield's gonna win definitely, but there's gonna be some shenanigans involved.
Yes.
maybe
Shenanigans,
maybe Shield will like add. Could you see Shield adding a new member?
I could
possibly?
see Chris Hero coming out,
Yeah.
being a member of the Shield.
That'd be cool.
But at the same time, right now in NXT, I don't want that to happen because there's going to be a Chris Hero and William Regal feud.
Well,
Which
either
is
way,
Either way, we win.
yeah,
that.
it's still gonna be a lot of fun to see where the Shield is going.
I could very well
Imagine if Bo
see
Dallas came out
WWE.
as a member of the Shield.
I could very well see right now, honestly, that WWE wants to give the team of Orton, Sheamus, Big Show the big win, just so someone can finally say they beat the Shield. I guess.
That would be terrible.
I think the Shield will win this though. I don't
Yeah.
think that this is it yet.
Yeah, it'd be bad to give the faces a win here because then it only serve to make the Shield look like really incompetent.
Well, it depends how they lose. If they do.
Yeah, well,
Here's an idea. Here's an idea. What it could be is like, say, the Shield lose, but they lose because they get disqualified just because they decide to beat the shit out of them.
yeah, that's probably the way that I think it could really work. Like, it'd be cool if it's just like they realize they can't win, so they just like start pulling out chairs and beating the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like all three of them, like it's like they throw Big Show through the announcer's table, then they throw Sheamus on top of Big Show, then throw Orton on top of Sheamus. That'd be awesome.
See, the thing is like after I think that the Shield was always a pleasant surprise to everyone, where when CM Punk got injured because Ryback was a douche, and the Shield had to kind of take over the reins of the main event.
Yeah.
Of TLC, people got a big surprise in how good they are at wrestling.
Yeah, like I mean,
And
I think it's one of those
since
things.
then, they've been on a roll. So
yeah, the only thing is that I feel like the Shield is kind of. Only problem I have with the Shield right now is that it feels like they're kind of lacking direction, and I feel like if they win here, then that will help them regain like some sort of focus.
I am seeing the Shield winning, though. I can't.
They're definitely gonna win, no doubt about it.
The one thing I didn't personally like about the Shield is when they revealed that they were working with Paul Heyman. I thought that really killed a lot of them.
That did not help them. Like that was one of those things where it took quite a lot away from the original mystique of the Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like now instead of being like some new outside threat, they're like, oh, they're just attack dogs for Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Well, I'm quite liking the way that they're making Paul Heyman look like a mafia boss.
Yeah.
Like a Jewish mafia boss.
Hey, the Jewish mafia is a thing.
Yeah, but it's probably headed by Paul Heyman.
Yeah. He would
but
make a damn good Jewish mafia boss.
he would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see. I can't see like Sheamus and Randy Orton and Big Show winning this, especially not cleanly anyway.
Yeah. I think the Shield train continues to roll on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And roll into a brighter new tomorrow.
So do you want to move on to the next match?
Yeah, let's
Yep.
move on.
Okay,
Ziggly Biggly versus Team
No,
Hell No.
it's Ziggy Langston.
Ziggy likes it, Ziggledy Biggledy, whatever. Either way, we still try to at least name them instead of just calling them Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Ziggy versus D. Brian Kane.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I think that Ziggy might win.
Whereas I personally think that D-Bry and Kane are going to win, and then Ziggler's going to cash in.
No, because the thing that I think might end up happening is that I think Ziggy wins, and then Dolph cashes in. And then Dolph cashes in and is like, "Oh yeah, I'm so awesome! I'm the tag team champion and I'm the world heavyweight champion. Eat it, bitch!"
Yeah.
And they just form kind of Biggie Langston and Dolph Ziggler form a 2-man power trip, and AJ becomes their mascot. I don't know.
No, AJ is the power behind.
Yeah, she's the puppet master, puppet mistress.
Yeah. I definitely Daniel Bryan King have had a long enough run with those titles that I don't see why they need to win this.
Yeah, I think they need to get them to lose so that then they can split them up. Because I think now Deep Bryan needs another singles run. Because the guy's still really over, and I think it could work really well.
Yeah.
Well, I think then in that case, what I think is going to happen is that Dolph Ziggler and Big E are going to win the tag titles, and then Ziggler's going to cash in later.
Yeah.
But also, I think that with Daniel Bryan, with Team Hell No splitting up, Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho will have a feud.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
That would be really awesome.
Although I don't know, you see Daniel Bryan turn heel, or is it going to be a face versus face feud?
Well, Daniel Bryan isn't exactly face right now.
Yeah, he's kind of a tweener.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah, so they could easily just turn him heel, and it wouldn't make much of a difference.
Because he kind of acted the same when he was a heel anyway.
Yeah. The only difference is that he gets cheered now, and he hugs people.
Yes.
Or just Kane, I guess.
But yeah, this has definitely got the potential to be the surprise best match of the night.
I'd still love.
You know what would be? I think it would be really hilarious is to have a segment after Daniel, have them split up and have a segment where they're yelling at each other, and then as Daniel Bryan walks off, Kane starts weeping.
No, I still think what would be great is if the reason they split up is Kane teams with someone, and then Daniel Bryan's like, "You're teaming with someone else behind my back? Daniel, I never said we were exclusive." And then they have this overblown, over the top tag team breakup. It's no, because all I do in this tag team is give and give and give, and all you do is take, Kane. You're a taker.
Or during the fact that have them cut away after they break up where they both start crying, and then they suddenly embrace each other, and they're like, "I'll never forget you, man."
Daniel Kane's gonna have a singles match, and he's gonna see Daniel. He's gonna go on a losing streak. Then he's gonna see. Then everyone's gonna be like, "You need Daniel just as much as he needs you." And then "No, I'm doing fine." And then Kane's gonna have a match, and then Daniel Bryan's gonna come out to the Chariots of Fire theme. They're gonna run in slow motion down the entrance ramp and hug. And then Kane loses by countout, and he's like, "What the fuck?" and chokeslams Bryan.
No, this isn't Chikara now.
That would be the.
It might not be, but it fits them.
I think that just book it, WWE. Book that shit.
Yeah, but I think that I'm not sure that's going to happen, but yeah, this is going to be a great match nonetheless.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good match because Biggie Langston's
Kane works. Kane's actually been having some of the best matches of his career recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Biggie Langston's not that bad of a wrestler either.
Biggie Langston's a very good powerhouse wrestler.
Yeah. And he's also surprisingly a very funny guy.
He's a great guy.
I follow him on Twitter. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, his Twitter is great.
Thank you, sound engineer Ali.
Yes. Nobody asked you to talk. Go back to your hole.
Yeah. By the way, Queen Victoria is leading Zimbabwe.
Just like we used to say, dark match, Ali is totally not here.
Yeah, he's not here. He is hiding back in Oregon, doing Oregon things like cutting down trees and looking at beavers.
And walking on the trail.
Yes.
And Shaka is leading Japan.
Okay.
Just go away, monkey.
Go back to recording.
Go away, you filthy, smelly ferret.
Yes.
Yeah, but the next match, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger.
Well, what? Oh, right. Jack Swagger's still getting pushed. It wasn't a nightmare.
You know,
I think it's been good with Zeb, though.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah,
can't tell
I
if
honestly,
nice
right
to
now, I'm starting to like Jack Swagger's Kurt heel run.
I don't know. I feel like it's all more Zeb culture than it is Jack Swagger.
Yeah, but if you missed it, they actually on SmackDown showed a promo where Jack Swagger talked for a good portion of time. He's still lisping a bit, but it was decent.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there is no way Swagger's gonna win this one.
No, I think Swagger is going to win this.
Because because of 3 words: weed the people.
No. I'm telling you, Jack Swagger's going to win this, right? But but he's not going to keep it for very long at all. And Dolph Ziggler's going to cash in almost immediately, and he's going to hold the title for an extremely short amount of time. It's going to be the shortest match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, I actually think that would make for a pretty good storyline, honestly. It's like
that's what's going to happen.
Because they used
to punish Jack Swagger, they're going to have him drop the title immediately.
Because that would actually make for a good storyline. Because because in the words of Batista, you used to be my friend.
I honestly think it would work better as far as being a heel to cash it in on Alberto if they have him win it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I do see it happening more to Swagger though, just to punish him.
Either way, it's going to end with there's going to be. I don't think this match is going to be very memorable.
I don't know. It could be a good match.
Like, I don't know. I have a strong feeling that it won't be though. Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Probably
Honestly,
won't be,
think Swagger has actually improved his ring work as well.
I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean,
well, Alberto Del Rio, I'm actually starting to dislike his ring work because he's got his own 5 moves of doom now.
I have no problem with the 5 moves of doom. The problem I have with Cena doing the 5 moves of doom is that he always does it as soon after he no-sells the beating he received.
I think that this match is going to be one of the more what's the words? The more emotional match type of thing. Jack Swagger's not going to do that well, but I think Del Rio could.
Yeah, he could. I'd like to see in the match. I think it would be really good if they had Ricardo Rodriguez and Zeb Coulter brawl.
That's not going to happen.
Aww.
But just because Ricardo's injured.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, then he attacks him while he's injured. I mean, it's because he's injured. That doesn't mean he can't walk.
I could see Ricardo hitting Zeb Coulter with a crutch though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think Zeb, or it'd be great if it's like he hobbles over to Zeb, and Zeb just laughs at him, and then he drops the crutch, and it's like, oh my god, he's not been injured the whole time, and then he said, goes ape shit on Zeb. That'd be awesome.
I never like though. I never really like it when that happens, especially when it really seems like a stretch for someone to come back from like.
Yeah, they don't need. Like, I don't think they're going to do that just because they don't need to.
Okay. It's just my own personal fantasy. That would be kind of fun to see if it's like, it's complete chaos. They're brawling. The managers are brawling. I wouldn't even be surprised if the referee got involved.
I mean, the way Ricardo sold that initial ankle lock on him was like, I seriously suspended my disbelief for a little bit there and thought he actually broke his ankle. I could believe it.
Yeah, Ricardo is really good at selling.
Yeah, because because luchadors usually are either like really good at selling or really bad.
Yeah, he's not really a luchador, even though he wears a luchador. He's wearing a luchador costume. He's not the size. He's completely not the size of your typical luchador. He's a big guy.
He's an American professional wrestler. He didn't learn as wrestling in like Mexico.
Yeah, but he still has like that. I don't know. He still kind of has that high flying style, though. Mostly.
I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I do see Jack Swagger winning this one very closely, but then immediately having Ziggler cash in on him.
Yeah, I see Del Rio going over. Honestly, they need feel good moments.
So this is us predicting opposite things this time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And you don't think he'll cash? You don't think Ziggler will cash it in there?
He might. I'm not going to call it.
That would be insanely stupid that for them to. He's waited this long and to basically never cash the briefcase in.
I
do want to see him cash the briefcase in on the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wouldn't like put my money on it, but I think it could happen.
I think what's going to happen though.
I just don't understand why they would allow someone to go the entire year and never cash it.
Yeah, so then we still have until July for him to cash it in. So
all of a sudden there's a promo and someone says, Dolph Ziggler, you realize you kind of forgot to cash it in. Oh shit!
Like, yeah, but see, I do think.
Are you going to see him cash it in on Money in the Bank before the ladder match?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is that
no, the thing is that doesn't work because if he doesn't cash it in now, that's it. He won't have the briefcase anymore because his time's run out.
No, he keeps it for a year.
Yeah, the Money in the Bank match is at WrestleMania, dude. It's at it's at Money in the Bank.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he has until July to cash it in.
It's still it's been so long.
How about this then? What happens is Dolph Ziggler cashes in, blah blah blah. Then Daniel Bryan turns face, and Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan have a feud. Dolph Ziggler saying, I did something you never could do, which was hold the briefcase till WrestleMania.
Yeah. All right. I remember when Daniel Bryan promised to cash it in at WrestleMania and didn't do that. The bastard.
Yeah, but regardless...
Well, didn't he lose the briefcase?
No.
No,
he promised to cash it in at WrestleMania, then he cashed it in at TLC.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Mr. Kennedy promised to cash it in at WrestleMania?
The thing is, Dolph Ziggler has never made the promise that he was going to do it.
He can say that he did what Daniel Bryan couldn't do. Yeah. Okay. I think that Del Rio wins, honestly, and with a possible cash in from Ziggler, I wouldn't put it past WWE to delay it longer, though.
I'm just saying this thingy, Jack Swagger. I keep forgetting his name because he's so boring. I could see Jack Swagger winning the title though, and then having the cash in, and then it being like a match that was shorter than the 18 seconds of last year type of thing.
It probably. I'd like to see it like where he knocks Swagger out with the briefcase before, cashes it in, then the bells, and then he covers him as soon as the bell is rung. So it's like 4 seconds.
I disagree that I think Jack Swagger has actually become less boring, mainly in the ring because he's he's getting angry. He's showing some charisma in the ring at least. I will say his promos haven't been the best, but that's only because I think that's more to do with the fact that they hardly ever let him talk, and I know you can say, well, because he has trouble talking. Well, the problem is that I think they really never let him get a chance to try.
It doesn't matter anyway. Let's just move on to the next match, eh?
Okay.
So it's gonna be Brock Lesnar versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels at ringside.
Oh God, this match.
And it's no holds barred. And if Triple H loses, he has to retire from being retired.
No, he has to retire from the desk job as well.
That makes no sense.
Oh, that's kind of stupid.
It's obvious that Triple H is going to go over in this one.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. It should be Lesnar.
I don't know. Why? Who would
really
Lesnar move on to, though? CM Punk? CM Punk's a heel.
John Cena. I don't know.
Actually, the thing, there's a thought that there's something more terrifying. I saw a magazine, like it was like a muscle magazine. Brock Lesnar, when the cover was on the cover, actually saying that the goal right now is to win the title.
If Lesnar wins the title, that will be a humongous miscalculation on WWE's part.
No, I don't see that from Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, okay, it's the kind of the difference between CM Punk and Brock Lesnar's goals, which is why they're not going to be in a stable, is because CM Punk wants to, be the best wrestler in the world type of thing. Brock Lesnar, he just wants to hurt people, That's his character.
Yeah.
I don't see a title in that, So, really, I think that what's actually going to happen is Triple H is going to go over on Lesnar, then Lesnar will probably move on to something else. I don't know what. But
yeah, I
might actually see, and I know, and I don't want to say it in case WWE is secretly somehow listening, but Brock Lesnar and Ryback feud.
Oh Jesus!
I honestly think that Lesnar might go over, if only because so Triple H can finally get a send off.
No.
So he can finally retire from being an on-screen character and work exclusively backstage.
But the thing is, he's working as a backstage. The whole story of it is he's not going to be backstage as well.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that it's just in story though. It's I think it's so he can stop becoming an on-screen presence and just go become exclusively working for the WWE.
Just become like Vince is right now. Only show up occasionally when important shit's happening.
I think it's gonna be kind of like Jeff Jarrett when Jeff Hardy retired him. So he's gonna leave, stop working with WWE so he can focus on NXT.
Nero.
Is it bad that I actually kind of miss Jeff Jarrett?
Yes, it is.
I don't know why. I guess it's just absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh, God.
Absence makes the heart go stupid.
Brock Lesnar versus Triple H will be a very slow match, and I don't think it's going to be.
I don't understand the stipulation at all. I don't understand why they made this. Because it's one of those things where it's you can choose any match You can put any disadvantage on Triple H. You can make it a submissions match. You could make it like a handicap match with the entire roster versus Triple H. You can make it he has to fight with wearing nothing but chains all around his body. And you chose a no holds barred match, which is
personally, what I was thinking it was going to be is he was going to go, okay, now this match, last time you faced Brock Lesnar, that was in your wheelhouse, in your ring, in your stage. You're going to have to face Brock Lesnar in a UFC match, right, in an MMA fight. It would have been horrible, but it would have made more sense.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. Like, it's one of those things where he could have put any disadvantage and he did no holds barred match, and honestly, no holds barred should have been Taker versus Punk.
Yeah.
Like, it made way more sense in the story for Taker versus Punk.
It doesn't, and I'll tell you why when we get to it. Do you want to get to that now?
Yeah, sure.
Well, hang on. My thought for the stipulation, to me, that would have made more sense, considering it's a career on the line match, would have been an I Quit match.
Yeah, that also could have worked.
Either that or a submission match, because, Brock Lesnar with the Kimura lock and Triple H with the
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, he has used the Indian Deathlock in the past.
Yeah, and it looks like shit. Like, I think it's like, it never was an integral part of his character, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that totally working, because Triple H would have to, go outside his comfort zone and pull random
and
submissions.
then he has an excuse
he'd have to pull submissions out of his bag of tricks, and he's not usually doing them.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it could work because, like, at least then if Triple H loses, then he has a reason for it.
But yeah, let's move on to the Taker and the Undertaker.
I just want to say, I honestly could see the Triple H Lesnar match being the worst match on the card, because
this could be.
Lesnar can't wrestle for shit.
Well, I
don't think that's
the
true.
only he has horrible psychology.
He's not about wrestling. He's a brawler, right? None of these matches that he's had have been wrestling matches.
Well,
They've
true,
been
but
fights.
the thing is, what I mean is, like, I guess I wouldn't mind it as much if he was like a big brawler and did a lot of brawling type or big power. I miss him being. I wish he could be a power wrestler again, like he was, but he doesn't.
Yeah, but the point is, he's not a wrestler. He's a fighter.
But it's also like the matches that he's had. Most of them contain him just working on the arm for like extended periods of time, and that's just boring.
That makes sense. Like, that's like.
I know it makes sense, but it's just boring.
But you find it boring, but some people don't. Okay.
Yeah, I find.
Moving on.
Taker versus Punk. I would say Punk if it wasn't for the nature of the feud. Like, this feud has gotten way too intense for them to let CM Punk win.
No, I'm saying Punk's going to win this.
I don't think he is.
I think if
it was just Punk being an asshole and then that's it, I think Punk would have been able to win, but I don't think it's possible anymore.
No, I think Punk's going to win, and it's going to, serve as kind of... This is going to be the Undertaker's last match at WrestleMania type of thing. Punk's going to be the one to retire him.
I don't think so.
Who else would you have, though?
Yeah, I would not be against CM Punk winning. I don't. Who the hell else is going to beat the streak unless you're just never going to have it beaten?
That's the point.
Unless you're going to. No, I don't even mean that. I mean, is this going to be the Undertaker's last match? Because if it is, Punk's the guy that should end it. No matter how it ends.
Okay, I still think, like, the streak shouldn't end. I don't think there's any point to it. Like, because really, if you break the streak, there's nowhere, like, this is the same problem with Cena. If Punk breaks the streak, there's nothing for him. Like, he might as well just retire right there.
If he doesn't break the streak, though, what is there for Punk anyway?
Like Like, I mean, I think that could lead to a much more interesting kind of character development where it's like Punk starts to actually have doubt in his own abilities. Like, oh, he couldn't put the Undertaker away. Is he really like? And he's like, people, and then like people will begin to question whether he really is the best, and now he's out to prove them wrong. Like, that's way more interesting than just Punk saying, "Yeah, I broke the streak. Cool. Now watch me lose to Cena again."
Yeah.
Like.
Hello?
That's the thing I have. Like, I think that if Punk breaks the streak, then he can't lose to anyone, or else by proxy it will make Taker look weak.
I honestly, you know what really bugs me about this is the build up for this has just been really lackluster in my opinion.
I think it's been great.
I have not
I've loved it.
I have not been impressed by the build up to this.
The
only part I liked was so far was Taker's promo where he basically said you may end the streak, but what you won't live to tell about it. Basically, kind of indicating that even if he loses, he might just beat the shit out of Punk afterwards.
That would honestly, and again, that would see the problem is like there's no win with this feud because if Punk wins and Taker beats the shit out of him, then it just completely craps all over Punk's moment and makes breaking the streak worth nothing.
It doesn't though.
Like yeah, but see the thing is, it's just one of those things where I don't like when. I mean, I don't think it's ever a good story to be told when like right after someone loses, they just get back up and beat the shit out of them because at the end of the day, like the guy who won the match isn't standing tall.
I don't know.
I just thought the whole playing on Paul Bearer to me is just it's not that that I'm going, oh, this is disgusting, WWE stop
they got the
playing out this
family.
man's death. It's not that, it just seems kind of weak, honestly. I would have much preferred and it's CM Punk being that CM Punk that kind of has fairly average promos at best, honestly.
He's been I don't know what you've been watching, Rugtan.
Oh, He's been
doing great promos.
I have been following this feud. I've been watching the promos, and it seems like that same CM Punk that we saw during his disrespect,
I haven't been saying that at all.
Okay, to be honest, like let's face it, he still cuts. Even if he is like allegedly not up to snuff, he's still better than Cena on most days.
That's true.
Like, and we'll get to that.
But
I
honestly really wanted to see someone, and I personally would have liked it to see it from Punk because this would fit him. Is to basically make fun of Taker for being an old.
Well,
point out the fact that start pointing out the fact that Undertaker is getting on in his years. CM Punk is in his prime, and that's why he'll win.
I don't know.
Well,
I would have liked that.
The way I'm seeing this go, though, will be Punk's going to dominate through most of this match, but Undertaker's just not going to give up because it's a streak type thing until CM Punk eventually wins by knocking him out.
I don't think that.
I was thinking that Punk would win, but he'd have to be carried out on a stretcher.
I don't know. I think it would be much. I honestly, I don't know. I just think Taker's going to win this one. I think what could end up happening is that they might go for a rematch, and then Punk will win that. But I don't know. I don't think Taker's going to. I don't think WWE wants the streak to end.
I don't know, but I'm just putting my money on Punk right now.
Yeah, I'm putting my money on Taker. Like that's just my inclination.
Yeah, but let's move on to the last match on the card.
God,
I hate
the sequel to the match that was supposed to be once in a lifetime.
The sequel to the match that no one wanted.
The first match ate crap. Like the first match was awful. Like that was honestly such a match devoid of heat, devoid of energy, and like some really genuinely awful wrestling from, like some really awful wrestling from both Cena and The Rock, and now they're doing it again.
Yeah, it's because The Rock is not in wrestling shape, and Cena had to try and carry The Rock, and Cena isn't carrying anyone.
Yeah, Cena can't carry anyone. He needs to be carried, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's not really and like before anybody gets defensive and like oh yeah, Cena's better than you give him credit for. He's not you have to admit that anybody who's a fan of Cena, you have to admit he's not the guy that carries people.
He's not a wrestler.
He's the kind of
he's not a great wrestler.
He's the kind of person where if he's wrestling with someone good, there's a good match. But if he wrestles with someone bad, it's an awful match.
Not even if it's bad. Even if he's wrestling with someone average, his matches suck.
And he's not wrestling with someone average.
Yeah, and when he's not wrestling with someone,
terrible.
and when he's wrestling with someone bad, his matches are completely abysmal.
Yeah, even CM Punk couldn't bring The Rock to a good match.
Yeah,
that should tell you something.
And that's the thing. This match is going to be awful, and the only person that it doesn't matter who wins or loses, the only loser is going to be the crowd because they're going to be sent home with another shit match.
Yeah, but they're going to eat it up.
Yeah,
I know.
They very well could eat it up like they did last year. But then again, this is the New Jersey / New York crowd. They could shit all over.
They're gonna shit on Cena when he wins. Which, by the way, I say when because there's no way Cena's not.
Yeah, Cena's winning this. There's just no way that he's not.
There is no fucking way that they're not going to let Cena.
Well, okay, I could see Cena not winning this and then having a rematch at Extreme Rules where Cena won that.
Oh, come on, just make it end. I don't want to see Cena and Rock anymore. I'm sick of both.
You could see that.
There is a very good. Nathan makes a very good point. They could extend it due to the fact that The Rock is booked for Extreme Rules. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm sick of both of them.
You got to remember that they're gonna milk this fucking cash cow as long as they can.
Oh, I don't care. I mean, either.
So I'm actually going to say The Rock's going to win this.
I haven't liked The Rock since he came back. His promos have sucked. His matches have sucked. And he's just been a complete caricature and shadow of what he used to be in the Attitude Era. And Cena's, well...
And he was overrated in the Attitude Era, so...
Well, even then, his promos were at least somewhat decent. And, I mean, he actually had some good matches. But now he's just completely terrible. And it's just one of those things where, this feud has sucked in every single minute of it. Both of these guys...
Honestly, right, the promos have improved for this year.
I don't know. It's just been one of those things where it's I don't know. I just think Cena really is overrated on the mic. A lot of people say it's yeah, Cena's a bad wrestler, but he's a good mic worker. I don't think he really is.
The problem with John Cena is he's very inconsistent. I shouldn't even say inconsistent. It's like we were saying earlier. It's John Cena occasionally drops a diamond in the big pile of shit.
I wouldn't say that. I literally don't get the popularity of John Cena. I just don't get it. I don't get why people like his style. I honestly, he looks like a fish.
Yeah. The thing is that it took me a while.
Well, I understand why the kids like him.
I don't even understand why the kids like him.
No, because I don't understand either. Because kids are. I actually like to think that some kids are smarter than they usually are, and that they actually like heroes who are challenged.
Well, it's not even that. It's just John Cena has no fucking charisma.
No.
It's not just the fact that I don't think it's all to do with the fact that you think that let's face it, kids aren't given enough credit for how smart they can actually be, but at the same time, Cena's number one fucking, wish giver.
Why is he number one guy? I don't get it.
Well, no, they're talking about his Make-A-Wish stuff, and I understand that, but I think that out-of-ring charity work shouldn't affect who's the top guy of the company. It didn't.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that's probably one of the bigger reasons
Yeah,
why the kids like
a
him.
lot of people like to talk up Cena and like his charity work, and while that is very noble, and I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of stupid smarks, tend to be like, "Oh, stick shit on Cena regardless." I don't think that should be the only thing that makes him the top guy. Honestly, like I think it should. I think that hard work and dedication, and like I understand that. Like, okay, well, I think Cena also works hard, but let's face it, he's just not that good of a wrestler. Like all of his moves. Like, I think the only move that he pulls off, like, properly, and that actually looks like it's well done, is the five-knuckle shuffle. Like, all of his other moves lack force, they lack impact, they lack pizzazz, and a lot of the times he just botches the living fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, none of his moves look like they actually do any damage.
Yeah, like, his flying shoulder block is literally just like, I fly right past you and you fall down.
Right?
And his spin out power bomb looks like garbage to the point where I didn't even realize it was a spin out power bomb until like it's more just like I just spin you around a bit and I drop you and then I dance around and punch you in the face and then I throw you off my shoulder. It's pathetic, honestly. It's one of the most pathetic movesets I've seen.
He does need a more high impact moveset.
Yeah, like he needs. It's just like his fisherman suplex is decent, and like his emerald flosion is pretty awesome. So like maybe you let him use more moves like that.
When's he used the emerald flosion?
Yeah, he uses it. He busted out in his match with Punk, and it looked actually really good and devastating. And like
yeah, but then Punk pulled out a pile drive, which was like
Sorry, I didn't show up at D&D. My mum kind of surprised me with, "Hey, Chris, we're going out to bingo," and I love bingo.
Okay, we're recording something.
Yeah.
You're welcome to join us if you want.
We're talking about Rock versus
Cena. We're pretty much at the end of it though.
What are we talking about?
It's WrestleMania predictions.
What are we up to?
Rock versus Cena.
I'd like to give my predictions for everything before quickly, if that's okay. What's the match card?
It's right up in the chat.
Yeah, just scroll up.
Scroll up. Okay.
The pre-show, Wade Barrett versus The Miz. Who do you think's going to win that one?
Wade Barrett versus The Miz?
Yes.
Probably Wade Barrett.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it might be Miz.
Where the hell is this thing? Oh, here we go. Wade Barrett versus Miz. Brodus Clay and Tensai and the Funkadactyls versus Cody Rhodes. Sandow and the Bella Twins. I'd like Team Rhodes Scholars to win, but knowing WWE and that they can't book a tag team match to save their lives, Brodus Clay and Tensai will probably win.
We predict that Rhodes Scholars win because it seems that if Brodus Clay and Tensai win, what do they do with them after that? Because where do they go from there?
Well, you can say that about either team, really.
Well, no, I can see this. I can see Sandow and Cody actually doing something after this, though.
Nathan predicts Cody could turn face.
I'm not saying this. It's going to happen at WrestleMania. I'm saying it's going to be the start of it.
Chris Jericho versus Fandango. I say Jericho.
Why?
But I can see Fandango winning. I don't know why I say Jericho. I just say Jericho. Ryback's probably going to beat Mark Henry because WWE has a hard-on over Ryback. Randy Orton and Sheamus, that's just simple. And Big Show versus The Shield, probably Sheamus, Orton, and Big Show. It's about time that WWE screwed over The Shield. D. Bryan Kane versus Ziggler and Biggie. Probably D. Bryan Kane, because that's really the only thing WWE has for them right now. Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. ADR will probably win because of Jack Swagger's pot escapades. Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. Whenever there's a career on the line, usually mean the guy that's putting his career on the line is going to lose. Usually. I mean, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair.
But you got to remember that this time where it says career on the line, it doesn't just mean in-ring career, it means out-ring career as well.
Well, it's kayfabe, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine WWE would be good at hiding the fact that Triple H is still behind the curtain.
That'd be
and
good
shit.
for writing Triple H off to take a desk job.
Yeah, you don't hear much about what goes on, off screen. I mean, Vince
I just have a hard time accepting that. It just baffles me that Triple H would be okay with Brock Lesnar being the one to end his career.
Well, who's he gonna pick, dude? John Cena? I mean, think about it. In all fairness to The Undertaker, he'd already had 2 matches with Taker, so he wouldn't have gone for a third.
Wait.
But he'd done everything he could have done with Taker. Shawn Michaels is retired. I mean, you got choices of John Cena, who they already invested him in time with The Rock. You got CM Punk, who's in a feud with Taker right now.
And has already been beaten by Triple H.
And has already been beaten by Triple H. Who are they going to put against Triple H to put his career on the line that's worthy of it? Randy Orton? No. I mean, yeah, I could get that the whole, it's evolution, it's Randy, it's Triple H's once upon a time mentor coming back to become the master. And that'd be great.
Mentor? You mean his student?
Yeah, his student, sorry, to become the master. And that'd be great storytelling if Randy Orton would give a damn and actually show 1/10 of an emotion. That'd be
He actually showed a little bit of a little modicum emotion during a promo going into this match with a Shield.
Don't lie, Roxanne.
Or if you're WWE, do you be safe and go for the guy that he had a decent match with last year and just say, look, he has to...
Fuck you, Riddler. That match sucked.
Yeah, but still, anyway, I don't know. I'm just trying to...
At least okay, I think that, either way, I just think it's fun. Either way, I don't think... The problem with this WrestleMania is that there's a lot of moments where we just can't get satisfying ends. That's the thing. I don't think there's very few actually satisfying ends to the Taker Punk match. Honestly.
Now, honestly, the streak. Okay, the Undertaker match. Any WrestleMania, it could be the shittiest WrestleMania you've seen. Now I'm going back here. So obviously going back. Any WrestleMania that you'd say would be the shittiest, you'll remember 2 things. The Taker match, and if Shawn Michaels wrestled on it, you'll usually remember the Shawn Michaels match.
He's retired.
When Shawn Michaels was wrestling on WrestleMania. And the Taker match. It's just the 2 things you usually remember from WrestleMania. But now Shawn Michaels isn't wrestling, so you usually just remember a Taker match. However this goes, it's going to be a good match. We can at least solidify that fact.
Yes.
That it's going to be...
There's no way it can be a bad match, to be honest.
It's going to be a damn fine match. And if it's Taker's last, which people are saying it might be, it might not be. There's rumors that Taker said he's going to continue. There's rumors that Taker said he's going to retire. You don't know which to believe because it's wrestling and dirt sheets like to speculate either way. And this could be Taker's last match. And if it is, I'm okay either way how it goes. If Taker wins and he gets the streak, then he ends perfectly. If Punk wins and Taker loses the streak, then either way, Taker walks out a legend. He's done shit that no one else is ever going to do in their career. And Punk walks away with the biggest rub a superstar could ever receive. And he finally proves to the world that he deserves billing over Cena, which is something that nobody's been able to prove to anyone as long as Cena's...
See, yeah, the only problem I have is that if that does happen and he says, I deserve billing over Cena, it's going to lead to a Punk-Cena feud, and Cena's going to win it because Cena wins everything. Even when he loses. He still wins.
And that would be the worst booking. That would be the worst booking that WWE could ever do, because once you've got...
the worst booking that WWE can do is after these WrestleMania matches is having Brock Lesnar versus Ryback.
No, the worst booking they could do is having Brock Lesnar versus The Rock for the WWE title.
Oh, God.
The match to see
I'm imagining most people here said Taker, yes?
I said Punk.
He said Punk.
I wouldn't be against Punk winning, but I think Taker will win it.
I honest to God, I don't know what's making me think it. By all means, if Taker wins, not gonna be surprised because it's the streak. No one's surprised when Taker wins, and I've always bet on Taker. It's one of them things like blackjack, or like not blackjack, like roulette. Always bet on black. Like always bet on Taker, but this one for whatever reason I'm going with Punk. So that's just me. And now we're with Rock versus Cena. So everyone else continue.
Where were we?
Rock versus Cena.
No, I meant like where were we? Where were we in the discussion?
We were just talking. I mean, I just think this match is going to be shit, regardless of like.
Oh yeah.
The ending. It's going to be garbage, and I just don't think this is because neither of these guys are very good wrestlers. They do not work well with each other at all.
No.
And the worst part is they're giving this 30 minutes again, even though they could barely even go 15 back when they had this match the first time.
Yeah, because Rock gets it probably will happen all over again. Rock gets gassed really early, and then Cena has to try and carry him, but of course he can't.
Yeah. See, the thing is that like. I don't understand why they immediately think, like, oh, the longer the match, the more important it is. Because that's not true, you know that, right? WWE, like, you can easily make the main event, like, 10 minutes long, so long as it's a good match.
I think
let's also remember that they're facing off for a fucking dead title to begin with.
I think what started the idea, unfortunately, of the longer the match, the more epic it is, was the 60-minute Iron Man match, the very first one. And while that was an awesome match, let's compare the difference here. You've got Rock versus Cena for 30 minutes, and then when you look back, you've got Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart for 60.
Yeah, and see, the thing is that, but even then, like, they still didn't do that as much. Like, it's one of those things where I remember, like, they would give the Shawn Michaels matches at WrestleMania of days gone by. They'd give them, like, that would usually get the most time in the show because then WWE was aware of the fact that some of their main eventers couldn't go for longer than 20 minutes, like Batista and Cena. Like, and the thing is, though, like, even then, like, Cena, he proved that he can go more than 20 minutes with the right person, but Rock isn't the right person because Rock can barely go.
Rock can barely go.
Yeah. They do not have any chemistry with each other, either in promos or in matches. Literally, the only thing they have going for it is the fact that they're both big stars.
And so again, I'm sorry,
who are we all saying is going to win then?
Cena. Like, why is that even a question?
I think.
Why is that even a question? Okay, let's look at this story-wise for a moment. If Rock wins in the God knows what alternate universe this is, where The Rock somehow just decides, I'm giving up movies, I'm coming back to wrestling.
No. Look, I say that The Rock's going to win, and do you know why? Because everyone expects John Cena to win, and they're going to have it be a swerve again. And they're going to have a rematch at Extreme Rules, which Rock is built for Extreme Rules, and then Cena's going to beat him for the title.
I can understand that, but you forget. They like the whole, champions have a rematch clause. So if he's built for Extreme Rules, possibility is he's going to lose at WrestleMania, and we're going to get third in a lifetime a month after WrestleMania.
Thrice in a lifetime.
Thrice in a lifetime. That's a possibility there. But I can see that possibility too. But think about this just like, if not story-wise, what is going to be had out of this? Cena wins. He gets another possibly short, possibly long, maybe medium range title reign. He's not going to go as long as Punk did, because Punk's probably never going to top what he did. To be fair, no. I don't see them putting that on Cena for that long.
But
again.
Cena better than Punk. He must get a longer reign than Punk.
He's had 11.
He's had
11 title. That's gonna be his 11th. He's had 12 world title reigns. We don't need any more Cena title reigns.
He is the best because he is John Cena, and John Cena is the best, so he must have the longest reign.
If Cena wins, there's probably going to be people ranting. There's probably going to be Cena fanboys who jump up and say, "Yeah, WWE's great again, woo!" Because they're stupid and idiotic and think that Cena equals greatness in WWE.
And well, I say he's not.
There's
as
also
bad as
going to be
most-
Rock fanboys that go, "The Rock should have won this one."
The Rock should have won this one.
Neither of them are worth being fans of. Like, neither of them are worth being like.
Put it in this way, all right? Cena wins. He gets a title reign. God knows how long it's gonna last. That's speculation for another
If
time.
it lasts
He wins.
until next WrestleMania, I'm going to freak out.
Other than a title reign,
What's going to happen is that Cena is going to lose this time. Then at Extreme Rules, are going to rematch. The Rock is going to lose that time, and then The Rock's going to put his rematch clause at the next WrestleMania.
Honestly, the whole Cena getting another match with The Rock, I don't know. I can totally see WWE doing it, but at the same time, it really doesn't make sense because after you get your first match against the title holder, do you really get a rematch clause?
I don't know, but the
It's
idea.
I always thought it's mostly it's always really the champion that gets the rematch clause, not the guy facing him.
But I'm John Cena. I can do whatever I want.
No, but think about it. Okay, I've thought about this. If Cena wins, he gets a title reign. Other than that, what is to be said that Cena could possibly gain out of beating The Rock, other than a title reign and saying, "I finally beat The Rock"?
The only
Nothing.
the
That's
only
the
thing
problem.
the only thing to gain is if they finally do what a lot of people would like to see, him turn heel again.
Cena's the top guy.
Don't
We
be
can't turn
silly,
him heel or else
Rock.
the kids will be sad and we'll lose all our money.
Okay. Now, before we turn to that,
Yeah, that's it. It's basically like what our former leader of the C show has said in a personal review he did, and after I started trying to talk to him in his YouTube channel and started making comments and asked him, "Hey, could you want to talk to us again?" He immediately decided to disappear off the face of the earth again.
So,
But he said what WWE is right now is one giant toy commercial.
It
Yeah.
essentially is, yes. Okay, but the Rock, okay, now we'll
It's the
switch that.
Transformers.
The Rock, if he somehow, and I do mean somehow, magically wins, other than a title reign and a second victory over John Cena, what does he get?
Nobody gets anything. That's why this is. That's why this
It's
match
not,
is
it's
so
not, it's not what
badly
The Rock
booked.
gets, it's what Extreme Rules gets. Which
Yeah,
is
that's the
the
problem.
Rock Cena match.
WWE is not thinking even remotely creatively right now with this. All they're thinking about is money. And I understand that this is a business and it's all about making, and you have to make money.
But they're in the
But
business
it's not
of
up, but
entertainment.
you're still making a creative based product. You're
And
still.
when your
you're still
business,
being-
your business is entertainment, and when you are advertising WrestleMania, the biggest event of entertainment that you could put on in your business of wrestling entertainment, and you say the main event is something that people will not want to miss, you are going chaotically wrong when, one, it's something that you've done the second time in a row, and the first time it wasn't that impressive.
Yeah, and trust me, John Cena is no Stone Cold.
And
No, and
two,
the worst part is even
But that-
Stone Cold and The
that's
Rock.
That's like the understatement.
No, but
of
but
the
even
year
then,
there, Nathan.
Stone Cold versus The Rock is the only other main event that has been on twice, and even then, it wasn't twice in a row.
Honestly, I would say that The Rock is no Rock right now.
Actually, Stone Cold and Rock faced each other 3 times.
Yeah, but in the main event,
Yeah,
the
they
third
did.
time-
I'm
third
pretty
time
sure it
wasn't
was the main event all 3 times.
but that's different. That was Stone Cold
But
and
the
Rock.
third time they did it was Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle was the main event.
And like, okay, so you've got that point. And when the first time wasn't that impressive, and 2, when story-wise, regardless however way it goes, it could be The Rock wins and he proves himself that, hey, look, I know I'm a movie star, but hey, I'm here for good. Or it could be Cena wins and hey, I finally overcame the odds again and became Superman.
Again for the 50 billionth time.
I overcame the odds again and I beat The Rock, the man I set out to beat since last year. Hell yeah, I'm John Cena, bitches. Like, whatever.
I'm John Cena.
Whatever storyline you go for, it's not interesting. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my money. When people are more interested in the matches that take place before it, when people would rather see the Taker match, which people can predict off the top with a fucking coin flip. Without even fucking thinking about it. Oh, Taker's gonna win. It's the streak. Of course Taker's gonna win. Or hell, Punk's gonna win. It's an upset. There's very few choices in there's not in between. Like, oh, I don't know. It's not either way we could win or either way we could lose. With a Taker match, it's simple at WrestleMania. And when even something that simple is getting people's entertainment over your goddamn main event, you have fucked up.
See, the biggest problem with Cena versus The Rock is that it just shows more and more that WWE has no idea how to write. Like, they are not good writers. They are just a bunch of businessmen making a wrestling company just so that they can buy another golden jet. It's not a matter.
They're not good businessmen either. They're working on quarterly profits and not long-term profits.
Like, yeah, they're basically doing this. Like, it just further proves that WWE consists of a bunch of people who have no idea how to actually deliver entertainment. They just want to make more money for themselves so that they can spend it all on a duffel bag full of cocaine.
And hey, let's follow.
It's like the political parties. I am quoting a Lewis Black joke, but I think it fits here. The writers are basically Democrats and Republicans, and the Democrat writers of the WWE have no ideas, and the Republican Party has a team of the Republican Party writers have really bad ideas, and then one of the Republicans will say, I have a really bad idea, and the Democrat will say, and I can make it shittier.
Yep.
But let's follow Rocktan's theory here. What are the possibilities, the miraculous chance that WWE grows a pair of giant steel cojones and makes John Cena heel?
0%.
0.5%. I wouldn't say 0. I'd say 0.5%.
If Cena was made heel after this match, let's just say we don't like the match. If Cena was made heel and we see him beat the shit out of The Rock, turn against the fans, even after hating the match, would we at least give it any credit?
No.
We would get a modicum of credit.
No, I wouldn't give it any credit. It would still be a shit match.
Because there's people that say,
I would give it.
Yeah,
I think Nathan is right. I wouldn't. If the match is bad, I wouldn't give the match any credit. I would give WWE credit for finally changing the John Cena's character and story. That's what I think.
Like, well, it was a shit match, but I gotta give it credit. It actually told a good story and actually led to something I didn't expect. Fuck
well,
off.
Honestly, the problem is, as far as the story right now, it's been this build-up has been better than last year's. At least I liked. It seemed that at times Rock and Cena were actually showing some emotions with each other when they were doing their promos. To a degree, it still wasn't very good, but it was better.
That's fair enough. But here's
the thing I want to mention, though. I want to mention this. One of the best promos they had one of the best promos they could have is that whole thing where they were being interviewed by the Legends. That was actually a really good promo. There's one.
I didn't think the Legends could even say that.
What's that?
I didn't think even the legends could save that promo.
Well, I honestly thought it really worked.
That's because Bret Hart kind of looked out of it the whole time.
But
He's just kind of like, hey, you know what? I wonder. Oh crap! I wonder if I T-bowed that rerun of NCIS.
I honestly liked Cena basically coming out and saying and being kind of basically saying I'm better than you, and it's like let's face it, for as bad as Cena is, he's better than The Rock right now.
Yes, but he's not saying anything.
That's not saying much, dude. That's like me saying that fucking Bruno Sammartino is better than the gobbledygooker.
Yeah, but dude, right now,
shit.
Look, Heath Slater is better than The Rock right now.
It's like it would be like saying that The Rock is better than Dwayne Johnson. It's really obvious that the answer is that, it's obvious, but that doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though, is something that I know is I know is a very, it might be a kind of subtle that people didn't notice, but it was a big problem that ruined that promo for me, is that not one, and this proves the point that we've been saying about the titles meaning exactly jack shit and having no prestige, and that they're essentially dead titles that don't mean, they don't mean anything. What's really important is whatever storyline they're pushing or the wrestlers in it, not the title itself.
Well, okay, I think that the title makes the wrestler. The wrestler makes the title, not the...
The title makes the wrestler. I understand that the title needs prestige. I've always understood that. There was a time when the Intercontinental title could be held on the same level as the World Heavyweight title, for God's sakes.
Yeah, well...
Now, not so much.
Now it's in the pre-show.
But the thing I wanted to say, though, is the fact that during that promo, Cena kept saying, I have to beat The Rock, but he never once mentioned for the WWE title.
Well,
it's
no,
like the WWE... that...
Oh, no.
To me, that essentially says even Cena doesn't care about winning the title. This is more about beating The Rock than winning the title.
No, Rock Tanner's even better than that. I remember the promo where John Cena was talking about the title and how Rock came and Rock made his own title, and how dare he make his own title when Cena did...
Oh, God, that promo sucked.
Especially
the most laughable line, one of the most laughable lines Cena's ever delivered, where he said, The Rock is the greatest WWE champion of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking shit.
Let's
say.
Off the top of my head, who could be better?
Bruno Sammartino. If we're just going by, the man who pretty much made the guy who basically made the belt, I think he deserves a bit more credit.
The guy that made the fucking belt, deserves a bit more credit. How about the guy that held it longer than both of your reigns, Cena? How about that? How about everyone that held it longer than you, Cena?
Actually, how about let's go even more recently. CM Punk was better than The Rock.
Yes.
And that was the title reign before The Rock's was better than The Rock's.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can Cena? It's so crazy because how can Cena possibly say that? I mean, Cena, The Rock has had the title for how long exactly?
Okay, I'm no Bruno Sammartino fanboy. I get it that Bruno Sammartino, one of the greatest names in wrestling history. Blah, 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 blah.
Even if he has had it for a year. I think he might have. I'm not sure because didn't they essentially do it all over again where they've had a year to build this.
The Rock has held the belt 8 times, and keep in mind that quite a few of those times were when he was under Vince Russo's ever so intelligent watch. He has held the belt the first reign 44 to. Okay, the reigns go in terms of days, 44 to 41. 21, 35, 119, 35 days. Like the longest reign he had was 3 months.
Okay, so if we're going in terms of stats, first of all,
Like,
definitely.
and I know that length isn't the most important thing, but like, if you
In the Attitude Era, no one kept a title for very long.
No one kept a title for very long in the Attitude. No.
Yeah.
But, okay, so in terms of stats, no, he's not the greatest. In terms of bringing prestige to the belt,
Oh, God.
no.
I wouldn't say
Oh,
that.
God.
Wouldn't stake my life on that.
No. In terms of epic feuds over the belt, other than Stone Cold,
his feud with Mankind was really awesome.
Mankind one was good.
Yeah, his Mankind feud.
He's had a good feud. Didn't he have a pretty good feud with Triple H as well?
Yeah, he did have a good feud with Triple H.
Okay.
Back when they were feuding in 2000. Yeah, so he's had some good feuds for the belt.
And in terms of memorability as a champion,
you know, honestly, I would be very hesitant to say that because his reigns were usually very short, and like I think his first win of the title was pretty memorable when like he turned heel and joined the corporation, and I'm trying to think of like what else was pretty memorable like about his title reigns.
There we go.
Yeah, like
he's not the best.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to be fair, we won't even go to Bruno Sammartino levels of comparison because that's easy to compare someone like that in memorability, longevity, prestige, things like that. He's the guy that fucking made the title. Let's just go recently here. Let's go CM Punk. Feuds that made him better than
Chris
The Rock.
Jericho.
Chris Jericho, CM Punk. We'll go Cena, because you know what? Cena, when he's against CM Punk, don't know what it is, but he brings out something that's different. ADR,
Kurt Angle,
Eddie Guerrero. Okay.
Edge.
Okay. That's Prestige.
Heck, his feud against Jeff Hardy was good.
Prestige. Yeah. CM Punk has held the WWE title the longest a person has held it in this modern era.
Yes, the longest since Hulk Hogan.
The longest since Hulk Hogan. Okay? So that's longevity. Prestige. I say before The Rock came along, he added some prestige to that damn ugly title.
Definitely.
That belt was the hottest belt in the company.
Yeah, because he put on some really awesome matches consistently on pay-per-view.
Now the only belt in the company that's worth anything is the tag belt.
Yeah.
Okay. And memorability. Not only did you have awesome CM Punk matches to be memorable, CM Punk on the mic, there's a reason that the term pipe bomb was invented for that man.
Yeah. And then let's even go, the guy Punk is facing, The Undertaker.
Who's had very short reigns.
Yeah, he's had very short reigns, so you can kind of parallel The Rock with him. But he's The Undertaker.
Yeah, but...
Undertaker!
And even then, I think... Hold on, let me check The Undertaker in terms of, like, longevity as a champion.
Didn't The Undertaker... Was it the WWE Championship
I think the problem with The
Undertaker
is that I don't think he really is remembered for being a champion as much as the streak.
Yeah, his reigns are kind of...
He's still a better WWE champion than The Rock, though. Come on.
Because you know what? You give a title to a guy who can't show up on every show, just throw it out. Don't give it to him. Because he can't... A guy who barely promotes the company, a guy who barely acknowledges the fact that he even is the champion.
Okay. I get
you. I don't understand...
I get you wanted this to be your main event of WrestleMania. People predicted this shit after the fucking John Cena Rock match of the first time. They
predicted it before that.
They predicted it before that this was going to happen twice, okay? If you wanted this to be a title match, you didn't have to put it on The Rock. You could have put it on fucking Cena again. Yeah, people would have been upset. But you know what? Cena would have been there every fucking week.
You know what? What should have been? After that match between Punk and Cena on Raw, that should have been the main event of WrestleMania. That should have been the match that people paid to see. That should have been the match that we all remember of the WrestleMania main event, instead of another shitty match between two guys who, like, between Cena and The Rock, between Cena, who's honestly only as good as the opponent he faces, facing up against a guy who is basically become a complete and utter shadow and caricature of his former self.
Look, honestly, if they wanted The Rock at WrestleMania, why couldn't they have had him host it like he did the
He
2
could have
years
hosted
ago?
it.
Yeah.
He'd be a good host.
That, honestly, considering that they made the whole show about him when he was doing it at 27.
It's just, I don't get, I've hated WrestleMania. It's become a joke, this goddamn paper. This is your flagship pay-per-view. This is the one that you say, this is our main show. If you miss any other show in the year, come and watch this one. And you have this shit on your card, and you have a fucking concert, which will probably mean another 18-second match, which could have been a good one. You're cutting down matches, you're missing out matches, you're putting in silly segments that last 20 goddamn minutes instead of a good athletic match to make way for fucking P Diddy or Lil Wayne or whoever else that you're having fucking
Flow right off.
It's P Diddy this year.
The whole thing with the whole argument I've made with Alex is, like, I understand that you're basically saying that they're trying to target the casual fan, and I understand this logic is saying
why should
the casual fan is more likely to be the ones that buy the pay-per-views and watch the show, and then they don't stream, they don't pirate. They're the ones who the ones that buy tend to more likely to buy merchandise. I don't get that.
I don't get that.
Here's what the thing.
No. Let me finish my point, though. The point is my argument is, though, you can still do that. It's just give us good athletic matches and good storylines. That's all we ask. Is that really that much to fan base? I mean, is it really that much to ask for that?
Why does appealing to a casual fan base? Why does appealing to a fan base that isn't as religiously dedicated to wrestling as Smarks? Why does that mean you have to sacrifice quality? Like, why does that mean you have to completely appealing to a wider audience immediately mean making your product a piece of garbage? Like that, I don't understand that.
Since its inception, since the very first WrestleMania, I will give them credit. They have since day one inserted celebrities. Mr. T, Cyndi Lauper, Mike Tyson, whatever. The difference is you weren't paying 60 goddamn bucks or whatever the equivalent is, whatever it is you're paying for this pay-per-view, pounds, dollars, wherever you are. You weren't paying to watch them sing. You weren't paying to watch them shuck and jive for you for 30 goddamn minutes instead of a match.
It's not like the main event of, like, WrestleMania, whatever year it was Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon.
They put people like Mr. T against Roddy Piper in a match and said, here, we're going to get these celebrities and put them in matches, and it might be part
of the show instead of just making
them. It might be shitty, but it's a part of the show, and we're not wasting your time with a goddamn concert. We made them a part of the fucking show.
Yeah, okay. I think we should wrap this up because we should save some of these rants for the actual WrestleMania review. But, like, let's just say I am excited for some of this, except for the main event, because the main event can just go eat a fat one.
Most of this could be a very good show, but the main event, there is no way.
Oh no, I think this is going to be a shit WrestleMania.
I think this has the potential to be a good one.
Really?
Other than the Taker match, I think this is going to be shit. No, this is a WrestleMania 9 if I ever saw one.
No, this is.
I would not call this WrestleMania 9. There is nothing that can be as bad as
this match card
9.
looks better than last year's match card.
I see a bunch. I don't know. It's just after the hope I had for last year's WrestleMania. Ooh, Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. This looks good. 18 seconds. Fuck you.
The rematch was good.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho and CM Punk, quite disappointing in reality, but okay, whatever, it was alright. Taker match, fucking awesome. Rest of the show, waste of my fucking time.
Yeah. Whereas this
Well, see,
this one, there are some things that I am genuinely interested in. Like the Jericho match could be good because I think he's a very good worker. That both of them are very good workers. The Mark Henry versus Ryback could go either way. You know, Del Rio versus Jack Swagger will be a good wrestling match, even if it doesn't tell a good story.
Mm.
The tag match is it's definitely going to be good. Biggie Langston's a great powerhouse. Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, and Kane. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
What I was going to suggest we actually do for WrestleMania, we could either do just a review or just a live commentary, or we could do a live commentary and a review.
I'd rather do a review because
I'd rather do a review.
Just a review. Okay, that makes sense.
You'd rather do a review? Why, Nathan?
Because I'd probably be asleep when WrestleMania starts and is on.
Yeah, I probably will be asleep.
Because I normally skip all of the overly American parts of it.
So
it's the national anthem of America. Fuck that shit.
So I don't want to see this at all.
I'd like to have it. You know what would just would be great is if like after the national anthem, Wade Barrett. It's like in the pre-show, then Wade Barrett comes out and sings the English national anthem.
Is P Diddy gonna be any good?
I'd like
P Diddy hasn't been
imagine
relevant
something
since
where someone starts singing the national anthem and all of a sudden, way in the background, you see Zeb Coulter.
I never thought I'd say
and Jack Swagger standing there.
For this year's WrestleMania, bring back Flo Rida.
No, P Diddy's a better rapper than Flo Rida, but honestly, he's not just irrelevant completely.
Well, you know what they should do?
Prince these days. Go and dig up Prince from whatever obscure pit he's in.
No, just get Living Colour to play Cult of Personality. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
apparently that's going to happen. There's rumors they're going to do that.
Well, you know what? Here's a better idea. Use that 20, 30 minutes that's a concert and replace it with a fucking match.
Or make the matches.
It's apparently only going to be 8 minutes.
Not the Cena Rock match,
that's
the other
8 minutes
matches.
of taking away from wrestling.
I want to make a note of the fact that once again SmackDown was pretty bad. I mean, I do like the only reason it was
show.
The only reason it was good at all was because Cole and Lawler have a really good chemistry together.
JBL, I mean.
Yeah, JBL. JBL and
he doesn't have. They don't. Lawler and Cole do not have anything.
That's what I meant to say. JBL and Cole.
Yeah.
And but it was better than last year because at least last year, I mean, this particular week before WrestleMania was fucking loads better than what we had last year by far.
I just got so much lower expectations.
Well, it's because this year we had JBL, and JBL can actually promote things well.
Well, it's not just that; it's the fact that the Raw didn't have a bunch of fucking squash matches and segments and.
Oh yeah, the pre WrestleMania SmackDown is usually one of the worst shows of the year.
Yeah, it was. It was really bad.
And I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to make it good. I mean, they had 2 matches, and I mean,
shit, Rockton.
Honestly, you know what they should do? This is my idea for what they could do for SmackDown if they're not gonna have all the main wrestlers from WrestleMania wrestling on SmackDown. Fine, have the people that aren't going to be at WrestleMania get and do some matches. That would be nice. Showcase your other fucking talent you have, WWE.
Okay, I think we should wrap it up here because we're getting a bit. This has been going on a bit long, and we don't want to blow our load before the actual review. So, I'm the Heavy Metal Snail.
I'm Liquid Nation.
I'm Riddler, who came in late saying "fuck WrestleMania."
And I am Rocktan, who apparently can't. Who was feeling under the weather and apparently can't. Made a bad. Who tried to make a joke but failed at it.
Yeah.
Ellie, if you want. God damn. Fucking WrestleMania.